storage, okay? When you receive, you checked everything, you talked to the food truck driver, and you're like, all right, I like everything, I'm gonna keep them all. Great, he leaves. What do you do now? Well, you gotta put the stuff away in correct places, okay? We are gonna practice that a lot here in class and in the kitchen, because staying organized helps you know where everything is. But also it avoids any situation where you are using or you are wasting product because you didn't know you had it, or that it goes bad before you use it, okay? Anything that has an expiration date, we're going to follow a simple method called FIFO. Okay, FIFO stands for first in, first out. Okay, it's a mnemonic that stands for first in, first out, for you to remember that we are going to use stuff that we got older first. Okay, so I have, let's just say, orange juice. All right, I got a carton of orange juice here. I got another carton of orange juice here. And I got another carton of orange juice here. Okay, things get made in different times. Things get made every single day. So this guy right here says October 4th, 2020. And this one was made all the way in September 5th, 2020. Okay? This guy has been in your refrigerator for a couple of weeks, right? And then this is why, oh, we only have one left. We're going to buy a couple more orange juice. So then in this new truck, we get this. Okay, so the first question is, if we're following the first in, first out, which one would you use first? Okay, there's two places that you can look at. One, the date. Which one is the oldest date? Okay, September the 5th, 2020. It is the oldest date. You would use this guy first. Following the dates process, okay? Even though we received both of these in the same truck, we still want to look at the date, and we want to use the oldest one first. So, which one would be considered oldest? October 4th. We would use that one second. Okay, October 21st, we will use that one third. So use this one, then this one, and then this one. And when you're putting it in the refrigerator, you would organize it that way. So if you had a shelf, okay, and you had your orange juice sitting right here, but it's towards the back, instead of putting these two right in front, you're not gonna put it just right in front, right? Because that just makes it really hard for you to reach the other one. We physically organize our refrigerator to meet it so that when we go in, it's easy. I already know that this is the oldest because it's in the front. Always move around your product to fit the FIFO method. So when you're putting it in here, in a refrigerator, you would put this guy in the back, put this guy right in the middle, and put this guy right in front. And then that way there is no confusion as to what you should be using first and when you should be using it. Okay? And also the idea of the first in, first out is that, hey, this one was in first, and then we use these two guys so that we don't get so that we use our older products first. Because here's the bottom line. If you end up using this one first because somebody who was receiving didn't put away things correctly, and you use this one, well, the expiration date of this orange juice was 2 weeks, okay? So what's 14 plus 5? Well, it's September 19, okay? We are clearly in October. This should have been thrown away. FIFO is a good way to not only avoid serving bad quality items, but also to save you from wasting money on products that you paid for and you can't use. That goes to not just purchasing, but for items that you make. So let's just say that you wanted to make potato salad, and because you sell potato salad, you come into work and you notice that we have something called a par stock. Par stock is how much you should always have on hand so that you don't run out. Okay, so the par stock that the chef told you is that you should always have one container full of potato salad because we use so much of it. Well, here's your potato salad. Okay, here's your container that he's talking about. But you open it and you see, we only have about half of the container left. There's no more. Well, what should you do? You should make more, okay? But the recipe that you make makes you 2 containers. 2 containers of potato salad that's brand new. A half a container of potato salad that was made last week. So let's just say it was made on October 1st. Okay, it was last Thursday and you're already down to this one. Well, today's date is October 5th. October 5th, okay? Which one should you use first? Well, it might be convenient to get the container that's full, but no, you should always use the one that's oldest first. Use all of October 1st first, and then you're gonna go and get your October 5th container. Since these are both the same date, just pick one, but then if you open this one, for example, use all of it first before moving on to the next one. One of the biggest ways that we can prevent cross-contamination in the kitchen is by storing items in the shelf, especially refrigerators, correctly, okay? All refrigerators it comes with a shelving system, okay? Even the ones at your house. Depending on how your refrigerator is, you might not have this many shelves, but typically we want to have about 5, okay? And there are specific reasons why. That way is because we want to keep things separate, okay? The question to you is, would you eat a salad that has chicken juice all over it? Uncooked, raw chicken juice? I hope that everybody says no. So at the top, you're gonna put your produce, your fruit, your vegetables, or your ready to eat foods. Again, produce you can eat separately without cooking or vice versa. Next, you're gonna have your shelf for seafood. Okay. Next, you have your shelf for whole meats. Next, you have your shelf for ground beef or ground meat. And then you have your poultry or your chickens. All right. Dairy also falls in this situation around in this area. So you have your dairy, you have your eggs. Okay. We will get into the internal temperature in the next section here, but as far as storage goes, we want to keep it as organized as possible. I did explain to a couple students the other day about our refrigerator in the kitchen. So we have a walk-in refrigerator, and it has shelves like this. It's a big rectangle, or square, I'm sorry, with a door coming this way. All right? We have 3 shelves. Now, each shelves don't have 5, and we don't have that much product. So what we do is we organize those items by section so that we can really avoid cross-contamination. So for the side of our refrigerator, we have condiments on the top shelf, and then we have produce on the next 2. And then in the bottom, we decided to make that dairy and eggs. Okay? Because we want to make sure, dairy and eggs stay below produce. And then the condiments are usually in containers like mayonnaise and relish. Those things are harmless to our other ingredients, and so they can stay just on the top shelf. Produce, when we get vegetables like carrots and onions, they go in the middle 2 shelves. Back here is where our meats go, and we follow this specific guideline from this to right here. Okay? Obviously, we don't have any produce because we put it all on the left side. But we want to make sure that when we do use meat products, when we get them in, the chicken stays on the very bottom shelf, and then it goes ascending. We got ground beef, and then we got whole meats and seafood. Okay, we just keep this whole back space as the meat so that we avoid any sort of cross-contamination with produce or ready-to-eat food. And then on this side, we have the bottom shelves where we use it for drinks or any heavy items. Sometimes we have pots like that we need that is trying to cool down. We're keeping it in a pot. We have ice paddles. We're cooling it down, and we haven't broken it down yet. We leave it in the bottom shelves. So drinks or heavy objects. And then the rest of the space is for ready-to-eat food. So anytime we prepare something, if we make pepperoni rolls, if we make pudding, if we make desserts, anything like that, that needs to stay in the refrigerator, we put it all on the right side. Okay. Obviously, any of the top shelves of any of the three shelving units can be used for ready-to-eat food, because then that way it just avoids any sort of cross-contamination on products that we are already done cooking. But for the most part, we try to keep everything on the right side. Okay. Last important little bit about storage is always do it where it is logical to you. Okay, be safe. Do not put heavy objects on the top shelf, because somebody somewhere is going to accidentally try to put it up there. They're going to hurt themselves, or if they don't put it up there correctly, it could fall on somebody else that comes by next. Avoid those potential accidents by just don't put heavy objects on the top. Okay. Also, do not overload your refrigerator and your freezer, as the air circulation needs to happen in those storage units so that it actually cools down the food and it keeps the unit from overworking.